Hey everyone, how's it going tonight? This is Shayne and Brandon taking in the Game 1 pregame show between the Montreal Canadiens and the Tampa Bay Lightning. It's the Stanley Cup Finals, buddy. How are you feeling?
Sorry, can you repeat that again? I love
Stanley Cup
hearing that.
Finals, 28 years. We're back. Montreal's back, man. It's going to be a good one.
Oh my God. Never did I expect to be here. I mean, I'm not complaining, but who thought that the beginning of the season we'd be here right now playing against the defending champs? Like, probably no one. So I'm not like we talked before. I'm not gonna go off making predictions and all of that. I'm enjoying the ride. I think this is hopefully not a once in a lifetime opportunity, but it might be. So I don't know when the next time the Habs are going to be in the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm just going to enjoy what I'm seeing. That's it.
See, I was born in 1993, so I didn't even get to witness the last time they're in the final. So it's been 28 years, and I just quickly got to just crack one of these torque-brewing witty Belgians before this game or pregame show gets going. Sorry. But Shayne, they finally did it like you were saying. They get through Toronto. They come back from 3-1. Everybody knows it. They sweep Winnipeg. They beat Vegas. They seem like they were the underdogs in every series. And now, once again, we see the Montreal Canadiens as the underdogs. So what are your thoughts maybe going into this series? Things to look for, things to watch, what you like, what you don't like? Well,
touching on the Vegas, we just played Vegas, right? And I guess their biggest thing was the defense. Their defensemen were so involved, so hard to contain. I mean, they garnished most of the goals, right? Most of the offense came from the defense. And with Tampa, I mean, they have arguably the best defenseman in the league, in Victor Hedman. But you can't overlook guys like McDonough. McDonough has been nuts so far. Crazy good. And I mean, Sergachev is Sergachev. He hasn't been as good as he can be in the playoffs, but still he's a threat. So I'm watching the defense for Tampa because I know we're going to be focused on their crazy offense. You know, you got guys like Kucherov, Point, Stamkos, Killorn has been killing it too. So it's threats all around. That's really what it is. Threats all around.
And one thing I do like, you're so right too, is like Tampa is so deep. Like the forward group is deep, the D core is deep. That's one thing that's lacking in depth is goaltending, but they have Vasilevsky. I mean, McElhinney's the backup, so I mean, I give the edge to the Habs and just goaltending per se. But one thing I do like about the Montreal Canadiens facing Tampa is watching how the New York Islanders went 7 against them, because Montreal plays a very similar style. Yeah. And what I like about that too is I think, and this is not a knock against the Islanders, I think the Montreal Canadiens are a little bit better than the Islanders. I think there's a little bit more depth up front in the forward group compared to the Islanders. I think Montreal can score like all 4 lines. We've seen it all playoffs long. Every line can score. Then you have the Danault line shutting down probably the point line as much as they possibly can. And you've seen Danault and them thrive in that role against Matthews, Marner, Wheeler, Ehlers, all them. And then also the Pacioretty, Stone. So you got to think Danault's going to match up against them, and then it's just literally it's a depth game. It's going to be a depth series here.
Yeah, that's it. The second Tampa line with Stamkos, Cirelli, and Killorn is also it's pretty damn scary. But you look at our second line, which is Toffoli, Suzuki, and Caulfield. I think that offensively, that's a pretty good matchup. You know, I think we might even get the edge on that matchup offensively. But once again, it comes down to shutting them down, right? So. I think in terms of depth itself, we have the upper hand. I like our fourth line better than theirs. But like, it's not a team you can take lightly. You know, they just won the Stanley Cup last year, and they're proving why they did once again. I like you said, I liked what the Islanders showed because we can see that we can beat them. They're not invincible. And since we play a similar style, we know what to do, what not to do. I think if the boys did their homework, we're looking good.
Yeah, 100%. And just quickly, I just want to let for the people that are watching, if you want to come on the show before the game starts tonight, live at habsnight.com, jump on the show with us. But like you're saying, like, and one thing that Derek pointed out to me today when I was talking to him was Tampa's very comfortable doing the run and gun game or also shutting it down. They won 1-0 game 7. So they're very comfortable in a low scoring affair, which I think you'll see in a lot of this series is very low scoring, tight hockey. And I think Montreal can thrive in that, but also Tampa's not scared to play that game either. It's really going to be it's such a toss up. I know a lot of people are hammering Tampa Bay Lightning. How could you not with their record and also their returning champs? But I still think it's a toss up. And I've seen some comments here in the chat already is special teams going to be a very big factor. Tampa's power play is rolling. I mean, how can you not with Kucherov, Point, Stamkos, Hedman out there whipping it around? But also Montreal's penalty kill has been the best all playoffs.
What is it now? Like 12 games we've been perfect. 12 or
I think they're at 94%, I think, on the penalty kill.
Yeah, 94.5,
93,
but
something like that.
It's nuts, and it's the best power play facing the best penalty kill. It's an unstoppable force against an immovable object. Is that what the saying is? I
think so.
I think I said it right, but that's what it is. It's the clash of the Titans in special units right now. So if everybody can stay healthy, if we stick to the game plan, I really want to stop the dump and chase. I think that's not going to be the move against Tampa. We got lucky with that a few times, but it's not been working out too well. But if we can change a few things, but stick with the formula, I'm liking this. Yeah,
and
it's not a blowout.
Where you alluded to like the dump and chase, I think that's one bit of Montreal Canadiens' success so far is just getting the pucks deep, and then you have like KK, Anderson, Armia, Stahl, all these big bodies going in and wearing these defenders down. I think that's a reason to Montreal's success. But you're right, though. The Tampa Bay Lightning's D-core, when you have Hedman, Sergachev, McDonough, Savard's there, like it's a D-core that's going to be able to. Like I thought Vegas had a great D-core, and so does Tampa. But I mean, you got to beat the best to be the best, right?
Yeah,
and that's what this is going to show. If Montreal can beat the best to be the best, get the Stanley Cup, the drive for 25. But I mean, it all depends on. I think you'll be able to tell which Montreal team shows up first 10 minutes. I think you can always get that vibe from them. Yeah,
and the beginning of the first period has mostly been in our favor throughout this playoffs. We've had some really good starts to games, and that's what sets us up for the rest of the game. We're good now at holding leads, which we haven't been good at for a long time now. We were the choking team before, and now we're really good at holding down our leads. But then again, we haven't played Tampa. I think Stamkos said it best. We're playing the best team that we've played so far, and so are they. So he's right. I mean, we haven't played a team like Tampa yet, where anybody can be a threat. It's just you never know where to look, and you got to look everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And I think the keys for success for Montreal is definitely you got to get that first goal. Because I find the team plays completely different if they don't get that first one. But also with Tampa, you're going to have to get more than 2 or 3 goals. I'm sorry. And it's going to be tough to get against Vasilevsky. I know Montreal is 11 or 12-0 if they score 2 or 3 goals, or 3 goals for sure.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to get those goals. But I mean, Tampa can come back easy. Like this is a very high octane offense team.
Mm-hmm. No, that's it. The whole team is going to have to pull through here. There's no passengers. I mean, nobody can just sit back and watch. Like everybody has to get involved, no matter who, no matter what they're doing, no matter what their role is. Every guy with the red sweater, or white in tonight's case, needs to pull their pants up and get it on. I mean, this is it. This is the last series. All or nothing.
It's wild.
You win or you go home. Simple as that. So no, it's huge, and I think the guys in the locker room know it too. I mean, I listened to the pressers from Caulfield and Suzuki when they did it together there, and they kept bringing up how we're doing it for the older guys, like the guys like Webby and Pricer that devoted a lot of years to this game and to this team, and can now finally see some results. So I think everyone in that room knows what to do, what the role is, and what's at stake. I'm not worried on that end. And you got guys like Luke Richardson, Dum Shum's going to come back game 3. Alex Burrows went to the Cup Finals. These guys, they're going to motivate them too, and they're going to tell them, okay, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. I like our coaching staff as well.
And you have a great point too, and I think Corey Perry and Eric Stahl both said it. Like it's, albeit Corey Perry was there last year with Dallas against Tampa, and he might have some inside info on what to do or whatever. But also he was saying, like, besides last year, he said it's been forever. Eric Stahl's been since like 06, I think, since he's been in the Cup final.
Yeah.
Weber's never been there. And then you have Jake Allen, Edmondson, Toffoli, all these guys with experience knowing how hard it truly is to be there and how important this series is for everybody to play their role. And that's one thing Montreal's done so well. Same with Tampa is every player buys into their role, right? There's no ego now. It's literally just do your job, trust the other guy's going to do his job, and it's going to be a great one. But I'm excited. I mean, we've got warm-ups here, 19 minutes, so this is where I just want to transfer over to the Armia talk I'm seeing in the chat. He was in COVID protocol. They never said he confirmed positive. He did have it back in March, I believe it was. I might be mistaken. And he's vaccinated. So I think it was just maybe a close contact or a false positive, whatever it was. He flew down today on a private jet. So I was asking you before we went live, what are your thoughts? Like, is Armia going to be in the lineup? I know he hasn't played since the Vegas Game 6. Didn't practice last 2 days. He's going to be flying the day of. Do you think Armia is going to slot in on that fourth line tonight or no?
If he's available, yeah, 100%. No disrespect to Jake Evans. I mean, that's a great second option, but Evans hasn't played since game 1 of Winnipeg, right? So there's that as well. But no, if Armia can slot in, for sure. I mean, he's got like 5 goals already, and the chemistry with Perry and Stahl is pretty clear. I mean, it's a fantastic line, the best fourth line in the playoffs by far. So no, for sure, if he's ready to go, put him in.
Yeah, I tend to agree because that, like you said, that fourth line has been absolutely dynamic or just important for Montreal's success. I mean, they cycle like the best of them, and that's 3 big bodies there. Corey Perry is so good in tight with the moves. Armia can steal the puck, but also like they can cycle forever or just board battle and waste some time. That's what I like about them. So I'm hoping Armia's in. I'm not sure if he's going to be, just because he did fly. I'm not sure. Maybe they just flew him down, so he'd be definitely there for game 2. So I won't be surprised if Evans is in. And I like the thought of if Armia can't go tonight, I do like the thought of Evans on that fourth line.
Oh yeah, big time. He showed us what he can do in the playoffs. I mean, before he got injured, he was fantastic. He playing great, and on the penalty kill, like you're switching a good penalty killer for another good penalty killer. So that kind of evens out. But even in the face-off circle, you can use him. He's good on the face-offs, even though he's going to play wing. No, Jake Evans is like a Swiss knife. I mean, this guy can do it all. I really, really like him. He's going to be a big part of the team going forward. But for tonight, if Armia is good to go, I'd still go Armia.
I agree. And one thing I've saw some fans asking, like, would it be a Tatar in over Evans? But like you were saying, I like Evans because you know what he's going to bring. He's going to bring that effort. He's got that speed. But also he can PK, where if Armia is out, that's a hole in the PK unit. Yeah, Evans can play that role. And like you said as well, is Evans can take draws where Tatar doesn't, per se. So I think instead of messing up that first line that's done well with Deneau, Galley, and Lehkonen, you throw Evans on the fourth line. He doesn't skip a beat. Tatar can't really play that fourth line role. That's not a knock on him. It's just not his skill set. So I think if Armia can't go, you will see Evans on that fourth line.
No doubt about it. No doubt.
Yeah. But for anybody that's still tuning in here, we got tons of time here. So please email the show if you want to come on. Live at habsnight.com. Give us your predictions if you want to. Tell us what you like. Maybe if you're old enough, talk about watching it in 93 and the similarities to this year's run, or what you just liked about this year's run, because it is quite incredible. Who would have thought midway through the season, when there was a lot of doubt, that we'd be sitting here almost July watching the Montreal Canadiens in the Stanley Cup Finals. First time, 28 years. Incredible.
It's hard. It's hard to wrap my head around it, honestly. Like
Yeah.
the night it happened, I was a little buzzed because it was the it was Saint Jean Baptiste here in Quebec. So I was having a good time and celebrating the win as well. But it's not setting in yet. It's not setting in. I feel like once the puck drops and like you finally see the patches on the shirt that says Stanley Cup Finals and on the ice, the little things they put on the ice there with the cup, like. That's when I think it'll click. Like, holy shit! Yeah, we're really doing it. Like, this is it. This is it. We're here. It's crazy, wild. I don't know.
I was gonna say, were you able to go downtown Montreal?
Not yet.
After that game?
I am planning on going next Monday for Game 4, if the weather permits. Because right now it's calling for rain, but anything can change. But yeah, I'm probably going to join in the craziness downtown. It's wild.
It's been insane. Like you see like there's fireworks going off. There's thousands of people.
Yeah. We
got a little bit of false hope today. There was a rumor going around that Quebec Public Health or whatever you guys call it there. I'm not sure. I'm from a different province, but they said it was going to be up to 10,500. And then the premier's right-hand man kind of kiboshed that and said they haven't agreed on anything yet. But you got to think, we were talking about this in the group chat, it's got to be a lot safer to have 10,500 inside, masks on, distance, sanitizer, all that stuff, than having 30,000 people outside trying to watch Lacaz's tiny little TV screen.
Makes complete sense. I mean, when you say it out loud, it's like, yeah, no shit. How have they not thought about this before? And just to touch on the fans outside, that's a fan. That's a fan thing. Like the team is not a part of that. Nobody organized it. It's just all the fans getting together. Yeah. So there's no way that any kind of police can prevent that. Like it's going to happen anyways. So might as well bring some people inside, have a packed house, masks on. Okay. Make sure, I don't know if they want to check if people are vaccinated too. Whatever, whatever floats their boat, that's cool. But instead of having, 30, 40,000 people punched together like this outside or having 22,000 inside and a little less outside, I mean, I don't know. It makes sense when you say it out loud, but I'm not in those. That's it. I'm not in those discussions. I wish I was, though, but I'm not in those discussions. I can't really sway Francois' vote here. I don't know if he's the one deciding. Yeah. Fingers crossed.
I think so too. And I see this commentary. There's no fire without smoke. So obviously something leaked out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that just doesn't come from nowheres.
I did see it was from an employee from the Bell Center. An employee from the Bell Center got an email saying that we just got approved for 10,500 fans, and then all of a sudden, wait, no, we didn't confirm. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
Sorry, just sending emails and stuff. Also, once again, if you're new to the show, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be going hard here in this cup run. It sounds good to actually say like cup run where it's not like the first round. Like we're going for the cup here. And tonight after the game, post-game show brought to you by Drew Deeks and Dale Weiss himself. Dutch Gretzky's coming on. So stay tuned for the post-game show after tonight's game. But we're going to keep this rolling here. Like I said to the fans, live at habsnight.com if you want to come on the show. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, throw in some comments. We love interacting with chat. So until we get another guest here, I think we're going to maybe interact with some chat a bit. But if you had to vote, I mean, obviously Braden Point's having an insane playoffs, but same with Kucherov, Carey Price's. Like I think this year, barring the final series hasn't started yet, but like the Conn Smythe talk right now, it's got to be all over the place. Like there's 3-4 guys, and I know this probably won't go over well with some people, but somebody even brought up Deneau's name for how good he's shot. Like, is he the MVP to the Montreal Canadiens with, this is nothing against Price. I vote for Price, obviously. But some people like Deneau's name could even get a little mention as well because what he's done to Matthews, Marner, Wheeler, Ehlers, Pacioretty, Stone, all these great forwards. It's just incredible to see some certain guys stepping up. at certain times this year, because at the midway through the season, a lot of people were on Deneau's back, and Dale himself said it. He does more than just score goals. He's not there to score goals, and you're seeing a prime example of it right now.
Yeah. We're not here right now without Phil.
Yeah.
Simple as that. We're not here without him. The what he's done in the playoffs so far goes unrecognized most of the time because it's not flashy, right? He doesn't get all the Caulfield goals. But what he does is so important. It's so important. Like if he wasn't there, Matthews would have lit us up, right? We wouldn't even be past the first round. So I think he does deserve a lot of credit and some recognition here for maybe Conn Smythe, but there's no doubt that if the Habs win, it's going to Carey Price.
Yeah, 100%.
No question about it.
I saw one tweet quickly before we go to our first guest here. I saw one tweet today. I forget who it was, so forgive me. It was saying like Carey Price has been through 2 rebuilds, never asked for a trade. It's time for him to go get his cup. And I was like, that's so like respectful, and just like how he did go through 2 rebuilds. He gets shit on the most out of all the Montreal players for years. Yeah. And he's still there, not asking for a trade, carrying this team. Every time they get in the playoffs, Price is never the issue. But I just want to point that out. I thought it was pretty incredible. 2 rebuilds, 0 trade ass. And now he's the spotlight, which he always has been. It's just some people forget that. But we'll go to our first guest here quickly, Shayno. We have Evan, who's a friend of the show. He's been on a bunch. So we're going to bring Evan onto the stream. Big Carey Price Evan. Fan. Woo! How's it going, Evan?
Good, guys. How you guys tonight?
Fantastic. Couldn't be better.
Yeah. To be completely honest, the whole day I've been so excited for the puck to drop tonight. Like, just imagine the first time in 28 years that we're in the finals. It's actually a crazy feeling, but I know for a fact that I honestly think this Montreal's year, and I honestly believe that we're going to go win the cup this year for Montreal, and most importantly for Carey Price and Shea Weber. Mm-hmm. They both deserve a cup, and Carey Price is a stellar goaltender, and I really love watching him play the way he plays, and everything he's done throughout his career. He deserves to raise a cup. He really do.
Yes, he does. For sure. Great points, Evan. So if you had to do a little, I know you're a big Carey Price fan. Just quickly before we let you go, do you got any predictions for tonight's game, buddy?
Well, my prediction, I'm going to say it's going to be 3-1 Montreal final. And
right on.
Honestly, no matter what happens tonight, even if the Habs do end up losing, I still think that we're going to win the Stanley Cup and show Canada who's Canada's team, because it is Montreal. That's Canada's team. It's the Canadiens. Mm-hmm. Always will be. And I hope the boys can pull out a big win tonight. And I hope you guys have a good night as well. And hopefully you guys have me back on after the game to talk about some stuff.
Awesome, Evan. Thank you, buddy, for joining the show. You have a good night, bud.
You too. Go Habs, go, baby. Woo!
See you, buddy. This next guest, some people are familiar with, but he's a can crusher himself. We're going to bring on the older brother, Derek Weiss, to the show. Derek, how's it going, buddy?
Gentlemen.
Oh,
what's going on?
Jersey.
Hey, I went with it for Game 7 there. So
awesome. You got to keep going.
Exactly. How you boys doing?
Oh, good, man. Good.
Could be better.
Could be in the arena, right?
Oh, I know. I was going to say, so Derek, we talked a little bit today about the game, and you've brought up some interesting points about how good Tampa is. Maybe just kind of reiterate just where Montreal has to pay attention or be careful.
Well, it's almost like you're looking in a mirror here too, right? Like they can score shorthanded. You can score shorthanded. Power plays have been going good. Penalty kills are great. Goalies are great. Both all-world guys. All 4 lines are rolling. Everyone's, on that high. And you'd almost got to put Montreal more so, I would say, on a higher, because, the big comeback and then coming over all the odds that I guess were put in front of them, and everyone writing them off from 3-1 about a month and a half ago.
Yeah. And I just want to go back to what Evan said earlier because he brought up a good point here. If we do drop game 1, it's not that big of a deal. We dropped game 1 against Vegas. Look what happened, right? We came right back, exploded them. So tonight is more like a feel-out game, right? You want to test out because you haven't played against Tampa the whole year. You haven't played them in a while, actually. So you just want to test it out, see what works, what doesn't, and then roll from there. So if we do end up dropping the game tonight, which let's hope we don't, let's not start panicking, eh?
Yeah. And it's great. I think you do have to split, though. I don't think you can leave Tampa down 2-0. I think you need to split, and I think you're right with that point, Shayne, is you can drop the first game. Fans, obviously, the players don't want to, but I don't think it's series over if they lose the first game tonight. But I would love to see them split in Tampa if they can.
I think if you go down 0-2, that's tough too, because there's that 2-game break between 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's not like a quick, okay, you got one game to figure it out, turn it around, and then get right back at it, where you'd have 2 days to really, study, figure it out, find where you can make adjustments. So I think a split in Tampa is a must. If not, best case scenario, you come out 2-0.
That'd be pretty sweet. Going to Montreal 2-0. Wow.
Oh, boy. You talk about people getting a little bit overzealous. If Montreal goes back to Montreal up 2-0, it'd be absolutely wild. But we're not going to think like that because we know this as good as Vegas was in Toronto and Winnipeg. I know Winnipeg didn't really play the best in the series, but a very good Toronto team, a very good Vegas team, and then I still think this is going to be the hardest competition yet.
I said, me and you talked about this earlier. I said like this Tampa group wants to be known as one of the greatest teams ever put together. They set records in the regular season. They, went through, won the cup. They set playoff records, points on a roll here to set another playoff record. These guys have no problem, putting up 8 in a game. They're up 6. They put on PP1 and they're still going. There's no mercy coming from them. So you can't give them an inch.
Yeah. And I saw one, sorry, Shayne, I saw one comment here was talking about the confidence. And that's one thing Montreal's done the whole playoff run, it seems. They've said, like, when people doubted us, they believed, like the whole team did. And they're playing with tons of confidence right now. And that's why I think it doesn't matter who's on the other side right now for the Montreal Canadiens. I know as, let's say, like a non-biased just hockey fan looking at it, how good Tampa is and how deep they are. But I don't think it really matters to Montreal. And on the other side, it doesn't matter for Tampa who they're playing either. It's just they just know what it comes down to tonight, and just you got to believe in your group that you're playing with. So I just want to point out that comment from Keegan here.
Oh, going back to the Conn Smythe, I heard you guys talking about just as I popped in there. I think if it goes 6 or 7, it's Carey Price, hands down.
Yeah.
Depending on, 1 or 2 guys from Tampa just absolutely, lighting the scoreboard up.
See, that was like one thing, and I was kind of having fun with the idea, but let's say Phil Deneau does what he's done all year, or all playoffs, sorry. And let's say Point and Kucherov don't get much, maybe a point or 2 here or there. Like, I don't hate the idea of it. Like, if he shuts down that many star forwards, I'd almost have to make the argument of I can't say MVP of the team because Carey Price, but it'd just be an incredible feat for Phil Deneau. It's like Guy Carbonneau kind of shutting down Wayne Gretzky in '93. Mm-hmm.
They'd have to make a new trophy, call it the Phil Deneau Trophy, and be like, here's the second MVP. You give 2 MVPs every Stanley Cup.
That's the thing. Like that, there's so many unsung heroes too. That are in the mix. Like, I mean, I'm not putting money on Deneau, although it'd probably be a nice payout. I think it's Price though. Yeah. If it goes 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens, it'll be one of those, like, his numbers are out of this world. It's not knocking Vazzy, but it's just the team that's in front of him compared to what he has, kind of deal.
Yeah.
definitely.
Because I see one Paul here we call him Paul Korea because he lives in Korea, but he says Dino gets 5.5 for multiple seasons now, and we heard the rumor at the start of the year that he turned down was it $5 million for 6 years?
I think it was 6
or $6 million for 5 years, whatever it was. Regardless, I don't think that actually happened. I don't see, and Dale touched on it as well, saying he doesn't see Phil Dano turning down money to play for his team. Like he wants to be a Montreal Canadian. But then now, if he does another great series, not shutting them down completely, but has another great series, his contract is just like, what's he get?
That dollar sign just keeps going up.
But it's weird too, because like the amount. What do you give him? And this isn't. I love Phil Dano. I've backed him almost all years. What do you give? What money do you give to him? He's a guy, and I know he's not there for that. But you know what I mean? Like, how do you ballpark the number there when there's no real comparable?
No.
Well, you can't say Bergeron or Kopitar like that because those guys are like 80, 90 point guys, right?
Exactly.
Like,
it's difficult. I don't know what you do or who you compare to.
And that's the thing, though, right? You have to find comparables going into that. Like, I think it's 3, and if your points aren't there, you're not going to get paid, regardless of. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? It's the way of the business.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like this could be a McKinnon situation as well, with taking perhaps less money to keep playing with us. Like, because I feel like he's going to get some crazy offers. Teams around the league are they're drooling right now looking at him. You know, a center like that could shut down guys like Matthews, Stone, the Kyle Connor, Nikolai Ehlers, like, doesn't come around very often. So if he believes in the system, right, trust the process. If he buys into the Habs really and he's sold, maybe he'll take less money to stay with us. Fingers crossed.
Seems like a guy that would, though.
Yeah.
Especially when you want to run like this, seeing what they can do. And if everybody stays relatively like a hometown discount, keeping the core together, I could see him doing it, especially to stay in Montreal. I mean, he's from Quebec, but it's weird because, see, my thought is they may already have a deal kind of ready and almost signed without being signed because he's a UFA, right? Yeah. So if he's UFA, Seattle can't snag him from Montreal. They don't have to protect him. Then he can just sign after the expansion draft, right?
I think so.
So that's one guy you don't have to technically protect until afterwards. Unless another team goes into UFA and goes, what do you want, Phil Dano?
I think there's a team out west that could use a shutdown centerman like that. Just saying, a lot of money.
All right, so we'll move on from the Phil Dano talk. It was just kind of went off the rails there, but
sorry.
Happens. I mean, the guy's playing incredible. You got to talk about him. He deserves all of it, especially for how much fans were on him this year for a little bit, but.
They're on everybody at one point this year.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I mean, it's not Montreal without overreacting a little bit, is it?
Maybe that pizza place gives them a deal or something.
It's free post-game pizza.
Sponsored by pizza. Yeah.
I'm just saying, right?
Wow.
All righty. So, Derek, what do you think this series is going to go 6-7?
Well, I said it, when Can's there, it can't go 7. No, it's got to go 6. But I'm with Shane though. I don't want predictions are getting thrown out the window for this one.
Doesn't matter anymore. Yeah,
just enjoy it.
Yeah, like this is. I think it's going to be maybe a few games, that are maybe 5-4 or something. Just because it's going to happen. But most of it should be like 3-2, 2-1 kind of deal.
Yeah.
And let's not forget too, Vasilevsky in clinching games has like a ton of shutouts. Like, this guy's just nuts. So if we do go to 7, we're screwed. Like you said, Derek. Like,
you're gonna carry.
There's no coming back from that. So it's got to be 6 or under.
But then it comes down to who would you rather have in net in a 1-game showdown?
There's also Price the other side. Yeah,
right. Yeah, like that's why this is gonna be such an interesting goalie match to watch.
It's gonna be a 1-0 game in third overtime.
Brandon will love that.
I'm checking social medias for line rushes if they started yet.
Yeah.
But I saw Cole Caulfield's parents are there. Last time they were at a game, he scored in Vegas. So might see a goal Caulfield tonight.
Oh,
Are you
he's on a
calling it?
roll.
Are you
He's on a
calling
roll.
it?
No, I'm sticking with Shayne. No predictions of any kind. Just getting to savor it because, like we said earlier, it's 28 years since they've been to the Cup final.
It's going to be 3
So-
posts today, though, combined. There's-
3 posts.
There's a prediction.
The only thing I
Damn.
did today, I bought those little flags for my truck. So I'm the guy driving around with the Canadiens flags.
Jumping on the bandwagon in the final, eh?
Yeah.
Not bad, not bad.
Hopefully some people in the chat got the flags going too. I've seen a few around town. I'm from New Brunswick, so I mean we do have the Habs fans, a lot of Bruins, a lot of Leafs, but there has been some Habs fans and flags going around. Love it.
I saw one car at work, must have had at least 10 flags on that car.
Oh,
Just
really?
Nice.
Nonstop. It was nuts.
Awesome.
You guys
Gotta
must
love
have
it, though.
seen that giant clip going around on Twitter or something. It's like that big Hummer that's like wrapped in like Habs stuff.
I don't
Oh
think I
yes,
have.
yeah, I have.
That's crazy.
Sorry, I'm just
Pretty
I
cool,
keep
man.
checking for line rushes here.
Hmm.
Armia
one-
is in warm up.
Ooh.
Oh, you took the PJ.
We like
He
that.
took the PJ. On cans, it's a different PJ, but he took the private jet down.
Well, they said he was gonna take warm up anyway. So
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
Shane and I were talking about it earlier, Derek. What are your thoughts on this with Armia not practicing the last few days, flying down there today?
I say it's a
Dude,
great game. He's got no time to sit there and think about it and get nervous. It's just, hey, let's get these tests done. Okay, I'm a negative. Get on the plane. Let's go. Get down. Get dressed. You're going. There's no
Mhm.
sitting around going like getting that nervous energy. Oh, it's the final. The final. He's got to get his shit and go.
Yeah.
So
I like that viewpoint. I really do.
Mhm.
So
it's
I kind of like I danced around the idea of him just not being rusty, but like just not being on the ice and then flying. I don't know, like where his energy would be. But it's a Stanley Cup Finals. Who gives a shit? I see the chat now. I'm an idiot. I'll take the L. Armia, get in the lineup.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup Finals. You're gonna be pumped
come
up.
on, man. Yeah,
I'm
For
an
sure.
idiot. I'll just hang out for the rest of the show here.
But there's also there's an interesting topic that we can touch on because the Habs have been so good physically. Like we've been wearing teams down, like you said, Brandon, earlier, with the dump and chase there, like big guys like KK and Anderson just crushing the defensemen and just the hits. We've always been out hitting the other team. So is that going to be the case again this series? Do we have to pump up the physicality?
They're pretty good being physical too. Like
Mhm.
and it's not just Maroon, although him and Perry should go at it again, which will be nice to watch. But I think you got to play their forwards heavy. Cooch is banged up for sure, so every chance you get, get a body on him exactly. And then even on their D, those guys are good. They can move the puck quick. You got to throw it in on them, get in on them quick.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Like you said, I mean, Kucherov, if I'm not saying you'll go out and hurt him, right? But it's definitely been said in the locker room, like, okay, he's clearly not 100%. And he's probably the best player. So if you can, finish your hip check, get him clean on the boards.
And
who knows what might happen.
has Vasi really dealt with a Perry and a Gallagher kind of in his face all the time? Like when they played this year, like they played the Islanders,
Florida.
Florida.
What's his name? That one guy was driving everybody nuts there.
Yeah.
He
Can't
scored
think
that
of
breakaway there. I know who you're talking about. Can't think of his
Right?
name.
Yeah, I can't
But I
think
mean,
of it either. Florida
and
Cup champs.
And like this, Trisha said here was Kucherov's playing a little banged up. He came out today and said there was no injury, but you don't just leave a game in the first period and not come back because you feel good. But so Kucherov's a little banged up, and I think just getting at Vasi. That's what the Montreal Canadiens have to do. I think it's the same thing with Price, where like you're not going to score with a direct shot. If Vasilevsky sees it, he's going to stop it.
Mhm.
You're playing someone very similar to Price, but I don't know if he's had anybody in his kitchen and just Gallagher and Perry just beating around in that crease, I think might start pissing him off.
I think you'd have to go back to that Florida series because they were scoring 5 like every game almost.
That's
and
true.
even during the season, that team lit them up. They found something. So I don't maybe watch some game film there, see what they see. Because I don't like the Islanders series, man, not really much you can do there. But even the Carolina series, I don't think there was a lot of high scoring.
No. And there won't be many pretty goals either. Like you got to expect a few tip-ins and greasy goals, but
Oh yeah,
that's what it is. That's the playoffs, right?
Especially these two goalies.
Yeah, we have a Cole Caulfield who can just snipe it from everywhere, but then again, will he be able to do that on Vasilevsky with also Tampa's defense so stingy? I mean, I think we have to go back on McDonough because I've really been impressed. Like I've watched a few of Tampa's games so far, and he's hard on the puck there.
Yeah, he's money.
And I saw this also, and it's been floating around on social media too, is the impact Josh Anderson had on Tampa when Columbus beat them. Yzerman came out and said it in the post-series presser and was like, we had nothing for Anderson. So if Anderson's out there buzzing around, he doesn't great if he scores. Obviously, it's great if anybody scores. It goes without saying. But we need Josh Anderson to be that mutant in this series, the power horse of literally just hitting anything that he sees.
150 every shift.
Yeah. Full speed, that size. I mean, he's got to wear them down. And I think that's why we alluded to this earlier on in the show, Shane, was Montreal's forwards were just wearing down opposing D. And I think that's what Josh Anderson, like that third line to me is what Montreal really needs to lean on for just getting pucks deep, grinding with speed, and just wearing that team out.
And that's it.
Yeah, see? A lot of Anderson in the chats here. Chat's pretty active tonight. Love to see it.
Has anyone really found an answer for that? Like once you see him get going on those games where, he starts driving the net, nobody can stop that.
No.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see who they match Hedman up against too, like with that pairing, and then especially with home last change here right off the hop. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's going to be all over Suzuki. He's got Suzuki's number for sure, and that whole line. I mean, you got 3 scoring threats here and 3 guys that can also create plays. So that's just a very scary line if you're Tampa's defense. But yeah, definitely, I think Hedman's going to go up against them. If that's my prediction.
That's what I'm curious about, what Cooper wants for lineups, and then when we go back to Montreal, because Ducharme should be back for Game 3, I believe.
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken. So that's what I love seeing, and that's one aspect I do like watching hockey for, is watching the coaches adjust and make changes and see who they think is a better matchup or who they're trying to target. It's like the game within a game. I find it super interesting. I know some fans probably don't give a shit, but I think it's pretty cool.
It is.
Especially this deep in the playoffs too, right? Where if something's not there, don't be scared to change it.
Yeah. But I think maybe we have some time. If fans want to come on for the last 15, we're not kicking Derek out just yet, but if fans do want to come on live at habstonight.com.
You're not done just yet.
You're not done just yet, pal.
Yeah.
Although we usually do predictions at the end. We're not doing it this time. We're doing what Shane said. We're enjoying it. I mean, how often does it come around? Stanley Cup final.
You never know.
Exactly.
Like things have
Price and Weber.
Things have to align. Everything has to go perfect for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to ask you guys, because some fans are like, okay, well, Montreal's hungry, like they're hungrier, because they haven't won in 28 years. But I also have to ask, is Tampa hungry as well because they know that feeling, like they want to experience that again? It's like, what are you guys thinking? Like, obviously, both teams want to win the cup, but like, what do you guys think? Like Montreal's mindset compared to Tampa?
That's interesting because, like, obviously, I've never played in the NHL, let alone the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. But if I were to give a guess, I feel like Tampa has such a good leadership group and good coaching staff that they're going to be ready mentally. But no matter what, nothing can change the fact that in the back of your head, you say to yourself, like, we won last year, and this team was the last team to clinch a playoff spot. Like, as much as they can tell themselves, like, oh, yeah, this is going to be a hard series, they're a good team. Back of their head, they're saying, like, oh, might not be that hard, it's just the Habs. So I feel like it might come and bite them, but I don't know. It is an interesting fact here. Yeah, something to think about.
I think, especially with Tampa too, and the way it is in the cap era, and knowing how much over they are, this team is not together next year. So, and look, like you see dynasties like Chicago, LA, Pittsburgh. Only one of those teams have ever gone back to back. It is impossible to do, really. So what they're doing is it's pretty amazing to see. And you got Patty Maroon there, who's looking for his third straight. Don't tell me that guy does not want to win again, right? Like,
big rig.
There's no such thing of not fired up to win the Stanley Cup. Like, this is the hardest trophy to win in sports. Like, you want to win this thing as much as you can. Yeah. As for Montreal, you have that underdog. You have that fire going. Like, you're like, hey, you know what? These guys, and I don't think Tampa is underestimating them. I think they have a lot of respect for this team, knowing the players that are there, the vets that are there, the rookies, and what they're doing. I think it's if you're Tampa, you step on them early, but Montreal has to fight back. And I really think this game one, first 10 minutes, you're gonna see a Montreal team that you haven't seen yet.
Oh, really?
That's right.
I like that. Because that's what I said to Shayne earlier. Like, it's so weird, and they've proved me wrong. This is not like a 100% accurate thing. Is I find the first 10 minutes of a Montreal Canadiens game, you can tell what team you're getting just by the tempo and like how the passings go and stuff like that. But I'm sure it's like for every other team. But I mean, I'm just very curious how they come out. And like you said, for how hard it is, it's arguably one of the hardest trophies to win. In sports. I mean, you got to win 4 series, best of 7s, very physical sport, not too much breaks in between the games. And
82 game regular season, not to mention you play 6 or 8 in a preseason.
Yeah.
And like talk about this too, like in a regular season, you have to do all that. You play till June, you're off, and then you're going right again. And then to, back to back, that's a lot of hockey, man.
Yeah. Especially the ones like Tampa's played a lot of hockey. Like they went to what? Is it August? Almost September? It was definitely August for sure because Montreal was playing in August.
I want to say it was September.
Yeah. And then they come back in January. And then you're playing till now. And then they just said tonight that the season's starting up mid-October. So another short off season here.
Oh, they're going back to regular fans in the stands. So, I mean, it's... Right, so it's going to be an awesome offseason for fans. Just absolute hell for players.
Yeah, for sure.
But go ahead, Shane.
Sorry. Like you said, this is the hardest trophy to win, and I think this year is even harder than before because the teams that you're playing now, you haven't played all season long. Right? Vegas, we hadn't seen them at all. And then Tampa, again, we haven't seen them at all, and they haven't seen us either. So you have to adjust to that. I mean, this constant, like, huge traveling, the physicality aspect, like there's no other league that beats you up as much as hockey does. I mean, you got Perry with a 3-finger glove. Petrie. Always mix those two up. Man. God damn it. Beautiful man. And then, Kucherov is playing with half a body, basically. He's just banged up. Weber is not 100% either. So there's so much that goes into this, and at the end of the day, it's all about heart. Who wants it more?
This will be a second season in a row where next year the Cup champs will be in the same, or Cup finalists or whatever will be in the same division.
That's it,
right?
It's ridiculous. We'll never see it again.
That was one thing that was pointed out when they won the Cup, or not the Cup, sorry, against Vegas, is they've officially won every single trophy there is in the NHL. But, I mean, like you guys have said for the last half hour or so, is like Tampa Bay they're there for a reason. They won a Cup last year for a reason. It's going to be one of the toughest games,
They're a
toughest
good
series.
team.
Yeah,
They're a good
great team.
Yeah. I mean, it's what's coming. You know what you're getting. Now it's just a matter of what you do to try and stop it.
Just got to weather that lightning storm.
Ooh. Oh.
Oh, there's the dad joke for a
Ooh.
Nick and Deeks. Sorry it took so long.
No, we were just playing it up. Everyone was
Yeah.
waiting for it. They didn't know when it was coming. Then there it is.
It's
Just
tradition
scanning
here.
for lineups here. Ooh, Evans is doing line rushes.
Oh, interesting.
But they've done that last time too. When Petrie didn't take any rushes and he was in. No eyes or not, he played. So they could be doing head games. Who knows? But I think that's enough for this evening's pregame show.
Yeah.
I think, well, once again, we have Deeks and Dale jumping on tonight, post-game show, right after the game, so keep an eye on it. We have a set time, I think, but obviously that's fluid to change depending on how long the game's going. But yeah, Dale and Deeks post-game show tonight. Big game starting here in about 20 minutes, puck drop. The Habs are in the Stanley Cup final, boys. Let's just, and girls, sorry.
I can't wait for
Let's
the
enjoy
opening too upstairs. I'm gonna go up there till the end. Like just that opening with gonna get chills.
I know. I can't wait. Shayne, any last words here, buddy, before we head off?
I'm having a good time, man. I'm having a damn good time. And I'm so happy that we started this show this year. Like, how
Right?
perfect
Like
is this?
this-
Like, the timing is impeccable. So I'm enjoying this. I'm having a good time. I hope everyone else is too. Just enjoy the ride. We don't know when we'll be back, if we'll ever be back. Have fun.
Of course. And quickly, before we head off here, the merchandise store is open. Habsnight.net. Get your merch. We the North shirts, Habsnight gear, Crushing Cans gear, Otula
Everything.
League. Everything's on there. So I'm going to throw up the graphic. Then we're going to head out here, gang. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We appreciate all the support. Subscribe if you haven't. Tons of shows coming up in the next week or so. So everybody enjoy the game. Have a good one. Cheers, everybody. Go Habs, go.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.